Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakahak Wadash, Barakathum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video. And in this video, I'll be profiling an article from apnews.com titled AI, or Artificial Intelligence, Presents Political Peril for 2024 with Threat to Mislead Voters. And while this article is talking about AI being used to disrupt voters' opinions during the 2024 elections, that's not the main point I'll be getting into. I'm going to read a little bit of this article and then go into how, this AI and deep fakes and computer generated images and stuff like that, is going to be used by the powers that be, to discredit the men of the Lord and create completely fake scenarios out there so that they can further accuse us, for things we didn't do, to make us look like what they try to say we are in the media, so-called black identity extremists, black nationalists, terrorists, links to Al-Qaeda or any other bullshit like that. Computer engineers and tech-inclined political scientists have warned for years that cheap, powerful artificial intelligence tools would soon allow anyone to create fake images, video, and audio that was realistic enough to fool voters and perhaps sway an election. Salakia. The synthetic images that emerged were often crude, Salakia, unconvincing, and costly to produce, especially when other kinds of misinformation were so inexpensive and easy to spread on social media. The threat posed by AI and so-called deepfakes always seemed a year or two away, no more. Sophisticated, generative AI tools can now create cloned human voices and hyper-realistic images, videos, and audio in seconds at minimal cost. When strapped to powerful social media algorithms, this fake and digitally created content can spread far and fast and target highly specific audiences, potentially taking campaign dirty tricks to a new low. The implications for the 2024 campaigns and elections are as large as they are troubling. Generative AI can not only rapidly produce targeted campaign emails, texts, or videos, it also could be used to mislead voters, impersonate candidates, and undermine elections on a scale and at a speed not yet seen. We're not prepared for this, warned A.J. Nash, Vice President of Intelligence at the cybersecurity firm Zero Fox. To me, the big leap forward is the audio and video capabilities that have emerged. When you can do that on a large scale and distribute it on social platforms, well, it's going to have a major impact. AI experts can quickly rattle off a number of alarming scenarios in which generative AI is used to create synthetic media for the purposes of confusing voters, slandering a candidate, or even inciting violence. And keep those in mind. Here are a few: automated robocall messages in a candidate's voice instructing voters to cast ballots on the wrong date, audio recordings of a candidate supposedly confessing to a crime or expressing racist views, video footage showing someone giving a speech or interview they never gave, fake images designed to look like local news reports, falsely claiming a candidate dropped out of the race. And recently, there were two deep fake videos that came out with President Joe Biden in it. One video where he was talking about how the draft has been instituted to bring U.S. men and women over to fight in Ukraine, and another video where Joe Biden was speaking against the Transformers, the Decepticons, both of which were deep fakes. But when you watched them, they looked realistic. They looked like he was actually standing in front of the podium, and the words what he was saying was matching up with his mouth. Hey, just an example of how sophisticated this technology has become. And that's just what they're starting to release to the mainstream people out there to let them have an idea that this technology exists. Best believe that they're 20 to 30 years ahead of whatever we're seeing. So once they really come with this deception campaign out here, hey, unless the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is dealing with you, it'll be hard to discern whether it's fact or fiction. And we know who the main target of all these things are going to be: the men of the Lord, the prophets of the Most High, chiefly at GMS or Great Millstone, as well as the brothers that come in the spirit of GMS. We constantly preach that we're not to take up arms against this devil out here, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, that it's going to be Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that's going to fight for us. And we preach that we're not black Hebrew Israelites, that the 12 tribes consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners who look like the heathen nations, etc., etc. But with this technology, what can they do? Create whole videos of brothers, because they've got thousands upon thousands of hours of us on camera from the lessons we do. They have our voices, everything. They could create completely false videos of us at camp with what? Bulletproof vests with fringes, with assault rifles, talking about, hey, we about to go bang it out with the cops or with Edomites. They could create videos, whole Call of Duty looking videos where brothers are out there actually shooting it out with the cops. They could have us saying all kinds of wild shit out here, that we grape children, which what are some of these other camps and some of these other jakes out here like to call us, child rapists and pedophiles and stuff like that. This devil knows that he hath but a short time in Revelation 12, verse 12. Let's get it. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, which that devil means deceiver, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, more specifically their elites, such as the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. This devil sees the writing on the wall. He sees the nation of Israel waking up and calling upon the true names of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And he sees the prophets out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles online. And he knows through the scriptures that when these things take place, whatever heathen nation that's ruling at the time is going to come to an end. Hey, Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, which has mainly been through the internet, and then shall the end come. All these end times prophecies are either in the process of taking place or taking place as we speak. So this devil, Esau Edom, is about to do anything he can to stop these prophecies from coming to their fulfillment and to stop this word from going out. And he's going to use this deep fake and AI technology to build that case against us, to show us in a completely different light than what we truly are. I'm going to jump up to verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashayat. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And Esau's been doing this by creating this black hip hop and thug culture for our people to follow after, making pork a delicacy amongst our people, being a whore, shaving your face, following after these heathenistic customs, etc., so that them at the top could accuse us before our power and say, look at what your people are doing. They're not obedient to you, and they're going against you. You should give us back the blessing and the birthright, which is what this is ultimately all about. Esau wants that blessing and birthright that our forefather Jacob supplanted from their forefather Esau, but it's never coming back. It was all meant in the spirit for us to get the blessing and the birthright to the kingdom of heaven and to be the chosen people, and for you to be that devil, that Edomite. But hey, he accuses us before our power day and night, and he's especially going to accuse us as we come into this time of great persecution, accusing us before the world as being everything opposite of what we preach. Rapists, killers, domestic terrorists, black identity extremists, all that. And he's going to use this AI and deep fake technology to do it. This is 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11. Lest Satan, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, Esau, Edom, should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Hey, we're not ignorant of his devices by the fact that we can see what the end goal of this deep fake and AI technology ultimately is: accusing the ministry, accusing the believers, accusing the men of the Lord of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai of things that they didn't do, so he can be justified, and taking this word off the internet, taking the men of the Lord off the highways and byways, and throwing us into these concentration camps to torture us. Here are a few examples. Automated robocall messages in a candidate's voice, instructing voters to cast ballots on the wrong date. Audio recordings of a candidate supposedly confessing to a crime or expressing racist views. Video footage showing someone giving a speech or interview they never gave. Fake images designed to look like local news reports, falsely claiming a candidate dropped out of the race. What if Elon Musk personally calls you and tells you to vote for a certain candidate, said Oren Etzioni, the founding CEO of the Allen Institute for AI, who stepped down last year to start the nonprofit AI2. A lot of people would listen, but it's not him. Former President Donald Trump, who is running in 2024, has shared AI-generated content with his followers on social media. A manipulated video of CNN host Anderson Cooper that Trump shared on his Truth Social platform on Friday, which distorted Cooper's reaction to the CNN town hall this past week with Trump, Salakia, was created using an AI voice cloning tool. That's Salakia. But that's it with this article. You get the point. But as we've read, this AI and deepfake technology can be used to just create a completely false narrative out here to deceive the majority of people, which it is going to deceive the majority of people, because the average person, the average American out here is an idiot. And it's just as simple as that. They just by the fact that they still believe what the mainstream media says shows that very fact. So when they come with this campaign against us, to you sincere Akim and Akwat out there, don't be surprised when your family members, your friends, your coworkers or whatever that clearly know you don't act like that at all, when they see those false images go up on the news, change on a dime, and are ready to sell you out for whatever Esau's throwing out as a reward to get you. And we have plenty of examples throughout the scriptures of false narratives being created against the believers of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to take them out of the way. I'm going to go to an example right now in Acts chapter 6. And remember, as it says in Romans chapter 15, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. There are plenty of examples throughout the scriptures of what our forefathers went through to give us an example of what we are going to go through when we're placed in similar scenarios during this time of persecution, this time of Jacob's trouble. But this is Acts chapter 7. Let's see where I want to go. I'll start Acts chapter 6. I'll start at verse 7. And the word of the Most High increased, and the number of the disciples multiplied in Jerusalem greatly. And a great company of the priests were obedient to the faith. And Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people. And we're doing great wonders and miracles right now by simply preaching the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, waking up the elect and bringing about the end of this current age of the heathens, as it says in Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. And you just wait when some brothers actually get those spiritual powers. Verse 9, then there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines, and the Cyrenians and Alexandrians, and of them of Cilicia and of Asia, disputing with Stephen. And we see an example of this today with these different camps, constantly trying to slander GMS and discredit us so they can discredit what we're saying, since we are preaching the truth. And don't be surprised when Esau rolls on us that these other camps, some of them are going to get in league with the devil to take us down because they hate us that much. Just look at the scribes and the Pharisees that were in league with the Romans. What did they do to Yahushua? And they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake, like a lot of these other camps. When we go through the scriptures to show that they're wrong, they can't dispute it through the scriptures. So what do? They come with the ad hominems, the personal attacks, saying, oh, you're pedophiles, you're rapists, you're bums, you don't have women or jobs, all this shit they say. Here's the main point I wanted to get to. Then they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High. And let's go to that word suborned in the Strongs. It's Strong's G5260, which is hypobalo. And in the outline of biblical usage, it says to throw or put under, to suggest to the mind, to instruct privately, instigate, to bribe, to induce someone unlawfully or secretly to perform some misdeed or commit a crime, to induce a person, especially a witness, to give a false testimony, to throw in stealthily, i.e. introduced by collusion, suborn. So, hey, since those wicked Israelites couldn't combat Stephen in the spirit, what did they have to do? They had to come with false witnesses, false testimonies to show him as something that he wasn't, which again, what have I been saying throughout the video? The powers that be are going to use this AI and deepfake technology to create scenarios and images and videos to show us in a light which is completely opposite of us, so that they can accuse us and be justified in coming against us. And then again, don't be surprised when some of these other Israelite groups say get in collusion with the devil to further our persecution and affliction. But to you wicked Israelites that are of that lot and that do that, hey, you make a league with the devil, hey, that devil's going to turn around and put you down too, as it says in Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 12, never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And who will pity a charmer when he was bitten by a serpent? When he gets bitten by the serpent, hey, you play with snakes, you're going to get bit. Then they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Masha and against the Most High. And they stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes and came upon him and caught him and brought him to the council and set up false witnesses, which said, this man ceaseth not to speak blasphemous words against this holy place and against the law. Point blank, period. So again, as it says in Romans chapter 15, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. And as it also says in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, there is no new thing under the sun. We've got examples of we've got examples in the past of false witnesses and testimonies being put against the men of the Lord to accuse them and put them to death. And it's going to be no different today. But today it's going to be on a whole other level with this technology, the devices of Satan that Esau is going to come with to accuse us and make us look like public enemy number one out here. But hey, at the end of the day, everybody that comes against Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and his elect are going to be put down. The elect, as long as they endure whatever comes their way to the end, are going to receive that crown and be the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven. But to everybody else, hey, you're just going to be fuel for the fire of these different calamities of Jacob's trouble, ultimately these nuclear missiles. So that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.